This headlining event is at KVSC Studios.
No, Drew, that's when Sidelines is on. Did you really try to schedule a main event during Sidelines right here on KVSC?
Sidelines?
Yeah, where we talk about things like
Ryan Suter's patience as a D-man are what makes him in the top 5 of the NHL.
or
He's got all the talent in the world in weapons.
So then why aren't they in the playoffs?
and
Once Carson Wentz got hurt, I just assumed it was a home field advantage all the way through to the Super Bowl for the
I did
Vikings.
as well.
Because I don't see them winning.
You can catch all of this live every Friday at 12:30 only on pay-per-view.
Drew, cut it with the wrestling promo. Sidelines isn't on pay-per-view. It's right here on 88.1 FM KVSC every Friday at 12:30.
Hey Thomas, I want to listen to the Huskies volleyball match today, but I don't know where to go. Can you help me out?
Of course, Brooks. You can find the Huskies all season long on the KVSC Sports stream. Just go to kvsc.org/sports and click at the link at the top of the screen.
Awesome! I can't wait to hear my favorite team get the win.
Sent over by Uabari, set Torvey, lob pin swing! Oh my goodness, Lindsay Rachel! Shooting on to 6, finds the floor, and St. Cloud State leads 19-13. Now quick set, Torvey, Dyer, get out of the way! Micah Dyer thumping it home! Micah picks up her 5th kill on 8 swings. Quick to Volso! Shooting on a 6 from the middle, a good set by Maddie Torvey, and Mara Mulso finds another kill. It's 12-10. Cruzelbrink, a nice dig in the back row by Olsted.
I'm Taylor Olsted. I'm a DS for St. Cloud State Volleyball, and you're listening to the KVSC Sports Stream.
Oh my God. Caleb, I can't find the score of the Husky game anywhere. Do you know what the score is?
Yeah, of course. It's 4-2.
What? How do you know that?
Oh, wait. Did I say 4-2? I meant 5-2. Blake Lazat just netted his 2nd of the game.
Let's go Huskies, all right, but how do you know this?
All you have to do is follow KVSC Hockey. They tweet live from all the Husky games.
That's unreal. Do they only update the scores?
No, they don't only update you about the scores. They also update you on penalties, and they're even interactive with all the fans that tweeted them during the games.
That's crazy. How do I get in on that action?
So, all you have to do is follow KVSC Hockey on Twitter, and you can be in on the action today.
I think I know who's getting my next follow.
Return now by UMC. Omen dumps it over on 2! Tying the game at 25. Omen, do the thing you do so well.
Backdoor look shot, scores! Jimmy Murray buries it, and the Huskies are back up 5-4. And I'll do it. Huskies win the first ever North Star Cup.
You enjoy listening to St. Cloud State sports coverage as much as the sports department enjoys bringing it to you. And where else are you going to find top-notch coverage of St. Cloud State hockey, football, basketball, and volleyball, or the award-winning shows like Husky Sports Friday? And none of it would be possible without your donations. Your donations help pay for the equipment that we use to improve the quality and increase the quantity of the games that we bring to you. And you can donate anytime by going to kvsc.org and clicking on the Donate tab.
You're live in 5, 4.
Oh, sounds like it's time for me to get to work. Welcome into Husky Studios. This is Husky Sports Friday.
And I'll do it. Huskies win the first.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the broadcast here for Husky Volleyball on the KVSC Sports Stream. I am your host, Earnhardt Michael Jaworski. Joined alongside me is Mr. Carl Gunner. And Carl, I am so excited to get this match underway between the Huskies and the Falcons.
Yeah, man, this is going to be really exciting. And you know what? There's not enough you could say about either of these teams. They've both been fantastic teams in the past. And, I mean, You saw the matches last year that St. Cloud went to Seattle, so this is kind of the rivalry game if you want to. Well, actually, I don't want to call it a rivalry. I'd say this is the
a home and home.
Exactly, that's what I'm exactly. And I mean, St. Cloud looking for a little bit of revenge here. They really want to get back at them after losing pretty badly in Seattle. And now I think that was pretty tough on them last year.
Talking to head coach Chad Bregelman earlier this week, they definitely left Seattle with sour tastes in their mouth. And Lindsay Rachel is going to get us underway here. Huskies doing really well in the opening coin toss. Antoniak keeps it up. There's Tolino. That's going to be kept out. Kirshner up. Zimmerman back sets awkward. Brand pops. Holman back over. Huskies a little scrambled right now. Brockvogel keeps it over. Kirshner has to dump it over. Huskies really on the back foot here. Kirshner. The Foley big swing. That's going to be down. And for the Huskies, ugly way to start the game.
Yeah, caught off guard there a little
As
bit.
you see, both Chad Bregelman and Marcy Tuamalolo getting their girls back together.
This is the type of game where you really want to focus on your game plan. As you know, Seattle has been a very tough opponent for them, and you don't want to step away from that game plan for 1 minute.
And Brock Vogel's swing going to go long. She wanted the fingertips on it, was Sarah Brockvogel.
Yeah, I'm sitting right
Junior
here.
Outside hitter, and I didn't see any fingertips there. Rachel to get us going, and Brock Vogel fumbles the bag here. 3-0 for the Huskies. Lindsay Rachel.
Yeah, that's really
It's her third ace of the year.
That's a pretty good luck for St. Cloud. You don't really expect to see those mistakes coming from Seattle.
Swing by Pruden was shut down by Foley and Zimmerman here on the near side.
That's some great work up front already. St. Cloud showing that they have multiple twin towers.
Swing up front by Hare, gets deflected away. Foley's going to be long, as she could tell it as soon as it left her fist that one was not really placed, so she wanted it. Falcons get their first point.
Yeah, she's got to weave around the...
Got to bend it around the blocks there.
Exactly.
Abigail Cunningham out of Tulsa, Oklahoma, to serve for the Falcons. Up front by Holman, she decides to dump it over. Tolino now swung for Brock Vogel. That's going to be fingertips and out for the Falcons. They will get that second point on the board.
And I mean, that's for the Falcons. You really got to start picking it up here. If you let St. Cloud get out to too much of a lead,
if you give them too much of an edge, they will use it against use it against you. Rachel over to Foley, off the back line.
And that's the second time.
Just an awkward swing there for Foley. You know, she didn't have that run up.
Yeah, it's the second time she's had a overshot on one of those.
And four straight points by the Huskies are answered by 3 straight now for the Falcons. We'll see if they can make it 4 to tie. Cunningham, Kirshner now. Baran swing by Zimmerman, fingertips kept up. Cunningham pops. Brock Vogel gets denied. I'm sorry, it's Pruden, as I am struggling with these Falcon names right now.
That's a great touch by Kenzie Foley, able to read the play, find where the ball is, and get her hands just over the net. Be able to tap it down, almost a spike, but just really taps it over.
Kirshner gets us going. Back set, Pruden. That's going to be fingertips kept up by Baran. Kirshner, Foley just chips it over. Tolino far side for Brock Vogel. That's going to get through the Husky line.
And you saw Baran there with a great dig. She's really stepping up with her digs. She's averaging 2.33 right now. Only got 14, but can only go up from there.
And we see junior Aaron Smith step in, as well as setter Lindsay Lambert now for the Falcons. Bit of an interesting set here. We're going to have to see what the Falcons can do with this new personnel. And Lambert's serve going to be just short. She had 7 aces last season.
Yeah, she only played in 25 of the matches. She had 9 starts though, but that was up to 88 sets. And she was number 2 with the Falcons.
And Houle answers the service error with a service error of her own. 6-5, as both teams really struggling to get some momentum here early in set 1.
Yeah, it's really going to be that type of competitive match. And Houle, we've seen her struggle lately with the service errors.
Rossi, big swing, kept up by Pruden. Cunningham. Over to Antoniak. That one will go down 6-all. Huskies, they had that early edge. But for the Falcons head coach by Jason Ryan, they're back in it.
And Ernie, I really think this is going to be this close the whole match, every set.
Foley, big swing. She teed up. She was teed up by Baran. Destroys that one was Foley.
And
she had it lined up. She had the gap and buries it.
She took a minute to find her groove, couple off hits, but there it is. Now she's found herself. She's coming out with power.
Houle chips up. Swing by Rossi. That's going to go cross court and wide. 7-7. Again, the errors from both sides.
Yeah, if you're St. Cloud, you're kind of just happy that there are errors on both sides.
As the errors were plagued them last season in Seattle. Now will be junior Hannah Hare. Gets going, and another service error. That is the third service error already here in set one. We see Zimmerman and Kern come in for Kirshner and Rossi. Kern kind of the serving specialist here for the Huskies.
Absolutely. Definitely one of the brighter spots for St. Cloud when it comes to serving.
She has 3 aces already. Not going to get one here. Could be Antoniak to chip over. Houle keeps it up. Baran. Rachel gets denied off the elbow. And for Lindsay, Rachel just tried to do too much with it a little too quickly. Didn't read the situation.
Yeah, you got to be able to make that decision in the blink of an eye, and the blockers of the Falcons are doing an amazing job. And for Lindsay Rachel, you just got to try and hit it a little bit to more of an angle.
Emily Tolino now fully to keep up. There's Baran over to Rachel. She has more time, and that one is in the bleachers. That is what we call a home run swing inside Hallenbeck Hall here.
Home run, I'd call that a grand slam.
Grand slam.
She's found her rhythm as well, able to read that play a little better. You love to see it as the St. Cloud team is starting to heat up a little bit.
Swing by Hare. That's going to weave its way through the Husky defense. 9-9 now. And for the Falcons, they're looking to get on the right foot here as we see Zoe Schukart come out and Brock Vogel come back in after a short rest.
And that one was a laser by the Falcons. Huskies had no chance off of it. They were in position.
Hannah Hare is deadly. Zimmerman, that's a big swing. Get out of the way.
You'd love to see it. Zimmerman stepping up. We've mentioned it plenty of times, stepping up again.
She's swinging at .432 coming into this contact. She is on fire.
She's
just started this season.
Fantastic.
Cunningham just chips it over. Kirshner now back to Foley. Off the back foot, roll shot. Cunningham. To Pruden, kept up by Holman. Baran sets up. There's Foley. Cuts it through the block. Goes back door. Bashes this one through.
Yeah, Foley's starting to light the fire under as Coach Bragelman, excuse me.
Continuing to make adjustments, kind of fine-tune each individual player. He's seeing things. Bragelman, really the 7th player, and Holman just gets a free block as Falcons thought that one was over.
Yeah, that's a nice read by Holman, but if you're the Falcons, you got to have someone up there ready to get under it either way. I mean, that's preparation for you, and that's communication on your whole team. You've got to be talking to each other, and you've got to be supporting each other at the same time.
Yes. You got to have that verbal and nonverbal communication.
Exactly.
You got to have your brain cells linked up there. And head coach Jason Ryan, he's going to call a timeout here as he wants to clean things up. Because right now it's 12-9 for the Huskies. Falcons, they're still in this, but this game could be the total other way.
Yeah, it absolutely could be. But to be fair, the errors have really kept it this close. And I mean, whoever cleans them up, whoever cleans it up first could definitely take this game. Although I do think it's going to go down on the wire.
For sure. For Seattle, I think they are a very stout team. I believe they received a first place vote in the GNAC out west. They did in their predicted finish 5th in the GNAC. Hannah Hare named it all GNAC preseason middle blocker.
And they're coming off they played Winona State yesterday morning. They beat them. Then they had a tough challenge in Concordia College later in the day. And I mean, you're also another team again. There's a gauntlet for everybody.
And Lindsay Rachel going to get another ace this season as Cunningham just, I'll say, had a brain fart there, just didn't react quick enough. Lindsay Rachel going to add another service ace to her stat book here. Already having 2 on the year. Cunningham now. There's Tolino. Swing by Pruden gets shut down. Cunningham. Over to Brockvogel. That gets shut down. Huskies doing a good job on the blocks. Baran. Back set to Holman. Good rally here for both sides. Pruden gets shut down by Foley. And there's an expletive coming out of Foley as that block went out.
Foley
she had that one dialed in, just shanked it wide.
Showing the prowess that she holds.
The standard she holds herself to.
Exactly. One of the best players on the court. Most likely one of the best players come through St. Cloud. There's nothing you can't say about her.
There's a reason why. She was the the national freshman of the year. And Chad Bregelman said postgame, when you have the national freshman of the year at your disposal, you're going to use her.
And I mean, she averaged 0.59 blocks a set last year. It seems like it's only going to go up. She's had at least 1 per match so far this year.
And the Huskies going to grab another point as the Falcons have another service error. Kirshner now out of Maplewood, Minnesota, former Hill Murray Pioneer. As that's going to be a 2-touch for the Falcons. Oh, I guess we'll consider that an ace.
Yeah, I believe it counts as one.
An ace for St. Cloud. Swing by Pruden goes cross court. That might be fingertips, and it's just out. Baran had to matrix her hand away from that ball.
Yeah, Huskies get caught a little bit out of position there. That ball was also a laser.
It was close.
Yeah, you really got to make a quick decision on that.
Kirshner again now. Tolino, awkward swing there by Wilkes. Kept alive. Holman, that's a fiery swing.
Holman using the power. This whole Huskies team is starting.
Holman just has a howitzer for a right arm.
After Wilkes said, I don't want this over here. Tossed it back over.
And for the Falcons, they're going to take their second timeout. They're now down by 7, which is the biggest margin so far. They've yet to tie or get the lead here in set 1.
St. Cloud trying to stay undefeated in sets this year. I mean, you're starting to close in.
It's not an easy thing to do.
Exactly.
Especially with the competition that has rolled into Hallenbeck here. It is a tall task, and so far they've been up to the task.
Absolutely, and I'd say even for Seattle, it's going to be a tough task to stay successful through in your conference, and coming to Minnesota is always, coming to this tournament is always going to be difficult for you.
And just to look at stats between the two teams, coming into this one, Huskies swinging 284 and the Falcons swinging 151. So for the Falcons, there's a lot of improvement there.
Yeah, the Huskies, you can't forget, they're getting 14.7 kills per set compared to 11.2 for Seattle. So, I mean, this is a Huskies team that really knows how to get down and dirty. They know how to work hard. They've really got grit.
On the court for the Huskies now, you have Kirshner, Rachel, Baran. On your back line, the front line is Holman, Rossi, and Foley.
They set up in a 5-1 set.
Kirshner, short set. Tolino, the Brockvogel. Rachel keeps it up. Kirshner from the baseline keeps that one in. Didn't give up on the play. Pruden, that's long. And what an effort by Keely Kirshner to not give up on that play. Her senior year, she broke the 100 dig milestone and set a new Hill Murray dig record.
Yeah, and
this is going to be challenged here by head coach Jason Ryan.
And you mentioned Kirshner, another one of those players that's got a lot of grit, and you can't find a player on the St. Cloud team that doesn't have it.
And last year, Kirshner, she swapped her time with Abigail Groneweg last year
and
for
Kobe
libero.
Dills.
Yep. And it was halfway through the year that Kirshner got the nod more often for that libero role. And she played really well. I'm excited to see what she can do this year as a sophomore.
Yeah, she
played
tallied
extremely well so far.
She tallied 92 digs last year. I mean, you can't ask for much more. She's just a phenomenal player everywhere. She also got 7 aces, and she got 2 digs a set and had double-digit digs in 4 games.
Yeah, right now she's averaging 3.5 digs per set, which is phenomenal.
Especially this few games, you really don't expect that many, but you're getting over 3 digs a game. Wow.
And again, for the Huskies in front of, they're all having a good time. They're telling jokes. And again, that's just what the Huskies do.
Well, and that's
they
what
have
you love
a good
to see.
time, but then when you're winning, you're going to have a good time. And for the Falcons, they're more serious, trying to be like, hey, we got to get ourselves back within this one.
Well, and that's what you love to see. Your game is always more fun, and that's what you can't forget. You got to remember that your roots. It's a game. Remember what it was like to play games when I was a kid.
Remember when you started playing, whether it be in middle school or even when you joined your first club team.
Exactly.
It was all about having fun, and now you're able to play it at the D2 level very competitively here.
Bring it back to high school gym class, middle school, elementary gym class. Just remember what it was like. Sometimes that's really what it's all about, to get you back into a game.
Kirshner gets us going. 18-10 now are your Huskies. Tolino to Wilkes, kept up by Holman. Buran, awkward. There's Rachel from the back line. A little confused there. Kirshner, good dig. Buran, Rossi, light touch, finds the middle. And that's going to be down as Cunningham could not get the pancake.
Rossi.
Now it's 19-10.
Yeah, Rossi really stepping up once again to get the tallest player on the court there, get her hand all the way up there. She got a little bit of a jump into it, and, man, she does a nice soft touch.
And Kirshner gets herself another ace. It's 20-10. That's the biggest lead the Huskies have had all season long.
And you really don't expect that against the Seattle Pacific team.
No, Seattle Pacific, you could call it jet lag. I don't know how long they've been in the state of Minnesota here. And a bit of moisture on the court on the side of the Falcons right now.
That helps your players get a little bit of a break, get some breath in you.
As there's no timeouts to give for the Falcons at this moment. They've used their 2. You only get 2 per set. Powerful swing. That's back-to-back aces for Kirshner. She has been surgical with it. Very impressive to watch here.
She may be small, but, man, she packs a punch.
Cunningham keeps this one alive. Tolino, Rachel keeps it up now. Buran, Foley has to cut that one across. She finds it. She saw the block, and just cut it to the right. Huskies up by 12.
Yeah, Seattle's expecting her to go for a huge, powerful hit, and she makes a nice tip at an angle, and that's what the Huskies are going to have to start doing more
Wilkes
here.
loses that one. It's Brockvold to keep it up. Foley, big swing. That deflects down. Huskies are going to get the point. Bregelman looking for a 2-touch on the previous Falcons swing.
Hey, you get the point either way. Not that much of a point to argue as long as you got the point.
Kirshner again, seems like she's been serving forever. Cunningham, Tolino now. Swing by Brockvogel, kept up. There's Buran, Foley. Big swing is blocked and it's out.
And Foley tries to go back to the power hit there, but once again, I think you got to go back to the little tip. We saw Lindsay Rachel do it earlier. She tried to slam it through those blockers, but those blockers have been so strong here for Seattle that there's not much you can do for St. Cloud.
Yep. Match point for the Huskies and Kirshner, just not enough on it. Her streak will come to an end. 24-11 now.
Still largest lead of the year for St. Cloud. That's what you love how to start. You love to start a game like a match like that.
And now Lindsay Lambert to start the Huskies. Rachel now. Buran. Rossi had to reach for it. It's going to go down. Rossi looking like an outside hitter.
Once again, using
up
those
front.
long arms. doing a nice job, able to tip it right over the blockers in front, find an open spot on the court behind him. You love to see it. Rossi's such a skilled player. One of the best defensive players.
And it was awkward because she was the only player on this left side.
She was
for the Huskies, and she was like, "Oh, I guess I got to go for this," and she shatters one.
And you see her; she's the only one on the left side, and that really shows how the Huskies have game plan. They know that that Seattle likes to pressure the right side, and they're going to keep trying to push it that way towards the players that they think are the weakest links on this team. And even though there's not a single weak link on this team, there's so much power on them.
Yes. And for the Huskies, they get their first set win over the Seattle Pacific Falcons. So already this match looking like it will go the other way. We're going to throw it to a bit of a break. And when we come back, it'll be set 2 between the Huskies here and the Falcons on the KVSC Sports Stream and the NSIC Network.
Oh, my God. Caleb, I can't find the score of the Husky game anywhere. Do you know what the score is?
Yeah, of course. It's 4-2.
What? How do you know that?
Oh, wait. Did I say 4-2? I meant 5-2. Blake Lazat just netted his second of the game.
Let's go Huskies. All right, but how do you know this?
All you have to do is follow KVSC Hockey. They tweet live from all the Husky games.
That's unreal. Do they only update the scores?
No, they don't only update you about the scores. They also update you on penalties, and they're even interactive with all the fans that tweeted them during the games.
That's crazy. How do I get in on that action?
So, all you have to do is follow KVSC Hockey on Twitter, and you can be in on the action today.
I think I know who's getting my next follow.
Return now by UMC. Omen dumps it over on 2! Tying the game at 25. Omen, do the thing you do so well.
Backdoor look shot, scores! Jimmy Murray buries it, and the Huskies are back up 5-4. And that'll do it. Huskies win the first ever North Star Cup.
You enjoy listening to St. Cloud State sports coverage as much as the sports department enjoys bringing it to you. And where else are you going to find top-notch coverage of St. Cloud State hockey, football, basketball, and volleyball, or the award-winning shows like Husky Sports Friday? And none of it would be possible without your donations. Your donations help pay for new equipment that we use to improve the quality and increase the quantity of the games that we bring to you. And you can donate anytime by going to kvsc.org and clicking on the Donate tab.
You're live in 5, 4.
Oh, sounds like it's time for me to get to work. Welcome into Husky Studios. This is Husky Sports Friday.
Welcome back to Husky Volleyball here on the KVSC Sports Stream. I'm your host, Earnhardt Jaworski, joined by my co-commentator, Carl Gunner. And then after set 1, Huskies took it in a dominating fashion, their biggest set win of the year so far, 25-11. And for the Huskies, just a big thing I want to point out right away, they had a .348 hitting percentage. And for the Falcons, they had a 0 hitting percentage. They had 5 kills, but they had 5 errors. And so those are going to cancel each other out.
Well, and the errors are something you definitely got to keep an eye on here. Huskies not far behind. They've got 4 as well. And you got to look at the assist numbers here, too. Huskies have got to get a little better job of eyeing that ball up as it comes over the net. Only 11 assists, and 9 of them are coming from Emma Barron. So you got to get a little better teamwork out there for St. Cloud, especially against a team like this.
And the thing I want to note, Kenzie Foley, with her 5 kills, has the same amount of kills as the entire Falcons team that first set.
Wow. I mean, there's nothing else to say. Kenzie Foley, what a phenomenal player. She has been everywhere.
Yes, and for Lindsay Rachel, she had, on her hunt for 4th all-time, she is now 23 away.
Yeah, Lindsay Rachel just been a phenomenal player. Ever since she stepped on the court in 2019, she has been in the center. She's
looked
face.
Phenomenal.
Exactly.
Yeah, she's gotten better every year, and this year she's a graduate student. And it'll be Tolino to get us going, and that'll be another service error for the Falcons.
Yeah, Falcons really struggling to serve. I mean, you really don't see this very often. And, I mean, you got to bring it down to guts and maybe the change of altitude.
Pruden backline at the roll shot. She's going to get it through as that ball just drooped down.
Yeah,
Not a lot of speed on it, but hey, sometimes that works.
She found a good spot in the center of the St. Cloud side where nobody was. Foley tries to dive for it, but nothing to do it. She can't get there fast enough. That's great vision of the court if you're the Falcons, and that's exactly what you want to look for. I mean, there's nothing else that you want from a middle blocker. You want them to be able to read the floor, have awareness, and I mean, you maybe set it every once in a while, but man, that's exactly what you expect.
Yes, and we mentioned kind of in the pregame, middle blockers are going to be key here for the Huskies. Baran, good keep up. Foley really wide, gets that one over. And a big swing by Wilkes. She was lofted one by Tolino, and Wilkes wallops it. Give the Falcons their first lead of the afternoon. Kirshner now. Baran cross set to Foley. That's off fingertips, kept up by Hungingham. Tolino swung on by Pruden. That was outside the pins.
And
going to be a
Pruden
point
there,
for the Huskies.
showing the Huskies that she's got some power as well.
Pruden, she had 136 kills last season. 51 blocks. Her career high is 14 kills.
What a phenomenal player.
Baran fully through the fingertips at pinballs and down.
Almost.
You could say it rattled through the Falcons there.
Yeah, almost saved by Brock Vogel, but just not able to
line
get
it
the
up.
momentum there off of her hands. And even off of that, you get two weird bumps like that. There's not much possibility to save it on the third.
And Tolino, she had to twist to get that one over. Baran, Rossi hammerfist off her elbow, and Rossi just couldn't clean that one up. Big block up front.
What a block by Wilkes. Able to read the play on the other side, pop up, get her arms where they need to be, and keep it away from the net. Got real close there. Almost was a net touch, but no call. You love to see it.
And Allison Wilkes out of Bothell, Washington.
Yeah, she played 23, 25 matches with 19 starts last year.
Baran, big swing by Rossi as she detonates one onto the Falcons side.
Yeah, Rossi showing the power she holds and those long arms. That'll give you leverage for days.
Yes. Rachel Houle to get us going. Swung there by Rosenthal. Huskies are going to double commit. Falcons get a point on the board.
Yeah, the soft touches. Oh, I believe that was Brock Vogel.
Brock Vogel, excuse me, is.
The
names are not my strong point tonight. I was doing a really good job last night.
Well, yeah, but the soft touches are kind of going to be the way. They're going to be the way
The
to
roll
go for
shots,
this one.
yes, the roll shots are really kind of the way to go.
Exactly. The blocking on both of these teams is just amazing that it's hard to get around it.
And it will be Lindsay Lambert to get us going out of Beaverton, Oregon. Career high 51 assists. She can do a number on any team. Rossi tried to curl outside from Baran. It was telegraphed and shut down by the Falcon front line.
And there's Brock Vogel Brock Vogel once again showing her skills as she shows up in the middle of a play again.
And this time Lambert goes long. That's going to be her second service error of the afternoon. Falcons' lead could be so much more if it were not for these errors. And Rossi, just a free dunk up front.
Once again,
uncontested.
Using the reach she has to be able to get up. Looks like she's trying to dunk that ball in. Man, you love to see that. Looks like a two-sport athlete. And you mentioned the errors coming from Seattle here. I mentioned earlier that the team who's going to be able to stop those errors is going to be able to pull away, and we're already seeing that St. Cloud has been able to limit their errors a lot more than Seattle, at least in this set is what it feels like.
And we mentioned Rossi's prowess on that front line. Last season she had 160 blocks, which was good enough for 6th in the country.
Yeah, she honorable 2021 AVCA honorable mention for all.
And another big swing by Rossi. Again, she's looking like an outside hitter disguised as a middle blocker. That's going to be her third this set.
And she had she had over 10 blocks 4 times last year.
Yes. Duno, that's a good night swing by Hannah Harris. She mangles this one.
Yeah, what a shot. St. Cloud really getting a taste of their own medicine in that power. There was a lot of heat on power hit, and there was a lot of heat on that ball.
It'll be Brock Vogel now. Jump set, that's going to be about 6 inches outside the back line there. So close. Good pass on serve, receive there for your Huskies. Emily Kern going to step back in.
And that takes a lot of practice to be able to read that ball that close as Kirshner just ducks to it. Just ducks as it goes over her head.
And for the second time this afternoon, Huskies and the Falcons go back-to-back service errors. We see junior Sydney Perry step in for the Falcons. Borant sets over to Rachel. Said to loft that over. Cunningham. Swung, kept up. That's back over Perry's setup. There's Kirshner. Poole. Over to Rachel, and just a miscommunication between the two outside hitters, Rachel and Foley.
That's what you can't do if you're St. Cloud. This is a heck of a Seattle team.
You're so used to having Rachel and Foley up on the front line. Here they're on the back line.
That's one of the
Foley,
strategies.
big swing, chops it down.
And yeah, as you mentioned, they're moving them to the back line. That's one of those strategies that you've got to do if you're going to play the Seattle team like this. You really got to come out, show them something they aren't expecting, they haven't seen before. You got to catch them off guard.
Just comes down to the rotation. Cunningham keeps up. And Aaron Smith going to bury this one now. 10-8 for the Falcons, and the Huskies
trailing in their first time.
Trailing. Really haven't been able to get back within this one. The Falcons might have figured something out here.
The momentum is starting to swing here. And if you're St. Cloud, you really got to find your rhythm and get back into this.
Tolino now. Pre-serve routine. Here we go. Gets that one over. Foley. Baran. Back set. Zimmerman deflected and down. Head coach Jason Ryan going to acknowledge that one as he knew that was a really good swing by Zimmerman. Dual sport athlete, played basketball and volleyball in high school. Zimmerman made the state tournament 3 times with the Moorhead Spuds, and Pruden going to jam this one through the Husky block.
Yeah, Pruden, quite a player for this team. 2-year letter winner, 3 years of the program. She totaled 80 sets last year. Excuse me. Yes, 80 sets.
That sounds about every game so far. Foley, big swing deflected, kept up, net touch. No, 2-touch for the Falcons.
And as I mentioned, Prudence put 136 kills on the court last year. She's definitely got to be one of the better players on this team for Seattle. She's definitely a role player.
And she's just set up on that right side. Kirshner kept up by Brock Vogel. There's Tolino. Brock Vogel gets it through. Baran over to Foley. Sayonara as that ball.
Just a lapse of judgment there for Perry. Sometimes it can get a little tricky to have feel your hands down, to get your hands down and see the ball at the same time.
Kirshner gets us going. There's Brock Vogel, tries to go cross court. And that's going to be 3 touches for your Huskies. And Bregelman challenging the call. No, going to get the towel down for a little bit more moisture. McKenna Holman getting some adjustments made.
Yeah, and the coaches can see this slipping out there. And really, you can tell more when you can hear it.
Yes.
But I don't understand. That's got to be difficult to hear when there's so many people on the court.
And as a commentator, something I don't really notice because I'm too busy watching the ball and see who's going to hit it next. I don't really notice players slipping around until they take a dive.
We are too invested.
Wilt gets us going. Baran over to Foley, who's set up wide. Kept up. Pruden now Perry just going to send that one over. Holman. Boran. Rossi calling for it. Foley gets it. She's denied.
Huskies set up the
and
fake
spike. And
there.
a big block by Hannah Hare.
Yeah, they set up the fake spike, but they get too many players up front, so they're not able to counter that one. You don't expect a counter off of that powerful hit from Foley, though. It seems like it's pretty rare. This is probably the first game that it's been countered the most.
Yes. Moran switches it up, goes to Holman, roll shot. Kept up by Perry. Hare tried to dunk it down, and she's shut down by the pair of Holman and Rossi.
Holman and Rossi, again, paying dividends for the St. Cloud team. And you're not even seeing just physicality from them. It's the roll touches. It's the little things that are really paying off.
Poole gets us going. Brock Vogel to Tolino. Back to Brock Vogel. Balances off the net onto the Falcons' side. Pruden now cross court, kept up by Kirshner. Moran, Rossi set, dumped it back. And she gets a dunk back through as Cunningham gifts her one, and Rossi returns the favor. Maybe she'll send her a Christmas card this year. I highly doubt it.
Well, and you see for Seattle there, maybe Abigail Cunningham could be trying a little too much, didn't realize her teammate was right behind her. Because if she would have stayed where she was, she would have been in good shape to get that second rebound.
Pruden, good swing, popped up. Rachel, Buran, fully shut down. Poole now. Buran, soft set for Rossi. Not a lot on it, all she needs. As it just rainbows over. You're so used, Carl, to seeing those just straight-on lasers rather than those rainbows.
Yeah, and we mentioned it earlier. That's what it's going to take in this game, and Rossi's doing a fantastic job of giving a soft touch over and finding a spot.
And Buran going to get a dunk of her own as the Falcon backline struggling with their receives, with their digs. Jason Ryan going to call a timeout here as Huskies get their first lead of the set.
Yeah, this St. Cloud team, you really come, you go down by, you lose your lead for a little bit, come back into it. It's really been a momentum shift, and the momentum is really what's carrying this game. It's really going to come down to, even if it's not that close, it's going to come down to where the power is coming from. And the power, where the soft touches are coming from. And the soft touches are really what's controlling this game.
And again, for the Huskies, when you think about your outside hitters, you know, Rachel, Zimmerman, Foley, Houle, you're thinking of power.
Exactly.
So you got to throw those change-ups.
Exactly, especially in a game when the blockers for Seattle have been so strong. That's when that's when it gets so difficult for your hitters to change it up because they get so used to just slamming that ball over there and putting heat on it. And this is when you can get confused, and you already saw it where they got down by a couple points. They're able to get back into it, and they're hopefully getting into more of a rhythm here.
And something I just realized, you know what we haven't seen yet? The middle blocker dump.
Oh, you're correct.
Or the setter dump, where Moran looks like she's going to set it and just dishes it aside.
Well, that's the thing. She hasn't really gotten much of a chance to get the ball. She touched it maybe.
She had 9 assists in that first set. She's had a little more opportunities this set here, set 2. 15-13 here on the KVSC Sports Stream and the NSIC Network. Swing by Pruden, shut down, can't be kept up by Hare as the Falcons I just said it already, fumble the bag.
I mean, there's another set of Twin Towers out there. There's not enough.
I mean, instead of Twin Towers, I like how I'll say you have Mount Everest and K2 out there.
Ooh, I like that.
Hare pops it up. Brock Vogel, big swing, shut down by Rossi. Just a stone wall up front.
She has been on point this match. Definitely starting to seem like she's the bright point in this game. She's probably leading in she's probably leading in blocks already.
Poole gets this going. That's going to be kept up by Perry. Tolino. Brock Vogel kept up. There's Tolino again. Back to Brock Vogel. Rossi, light touch. Tolino switches it. Pruden shut down. Doesn't work either way. Big block by Kenzie Foley.
Kenzie Foley showing that she's not just a powerhouse. She can do it everywhere.
She can do it all, as we're going to see Zoe Schuckert come in for Sydney Perry. 6'3", getting swapped out for 5'4". Big height change there for the Falcons.
Yeah, they come back to. They're bringing in some more height to try and counter these strikes that the Huskies are putting out on.
Brock Vogel going to get that one through Rachel. And really, you say you're bringing in height. You're actually taking out height, so you have more chance to get underneath that ball to dig it out.
Exactly. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, you're correct.
It's a weird to think about, but like when you think about it, it makes sense.
And I suppose if you're trying to match the height that St. Cloud has, they don't have Sam Zimmerman in there.
Baran over the Foley, heads up. That's in the booth, in the lap, Carl. Good dig, just good job there. No, first big catch of the year. You make it. You're 1 for 1.
Hey, that's 100%.
Swinging 100%, and that one gonna be just out for Pruden. Huskies up now by 6 as they had to battle back to get back within this one.
Yeah, really trying to close this one
Oh,
out.
no way. Foley, not how she drew it up. It chips enough of the top of the net, kills enough momentum, just barely gets over, drops down.
And those are deadly serves.
Those are near impossible. She draws it again. No way. Oh, my goodness. Kenzie Foley, deja vu. Are we in the Matrix?
I was about to say, if you could practice that, that'd be really impressive. And it already seems like she's practicing it.
She's giggling over there. She can't believe it.
Oh,
almost does it a third time. Swung by her, gets shut down. And, Smith swing going to be long.
Smith, another GNAC All-Academic in 2021. Played in 16 to 25 matches with 6 starts last year.
Smith again gonna be long as Schuckert had a good feed, and now Huskies all of a sudden are on match point. They're up by 10.
Yeah, this one seemed
Foley,
to clean out really easy.
Big
real early.
swing here, gonna be kept in. Cunningham. Swung in, kept up by Kirshner. Baran up the Foley, has to stretch for it. Lambert, Cunningham. That one's gonna need another touch. Joust doesn't get over. And another Falcons error will end the set. 25-14.
Wow, what an impressive set for St. Cloud. They keep it close with Seattle through the majority of that match, but towards about 2/3 of the way through there, and that
the
last
Falcons just crumble.
Exactly. St. Cloud was able to take advantage of their. Well, they removed those blockers, those taller players, and that's really what helped St. Cloud.
That's where the Huskies capitalized. And for the Falcons, sometimes that's the way the taco tumbles, but you don't want that to happen. And you can't make that a regular thing.
And sometimes you have to put that on the coach, because you've got to be able to know when you need those blockers in there.
Yes.
And that's a strategy adjustment.
And I think it just came down where the adjustment by Jason Ryan just kind of fell apart. And with that, we're going to throw it to a short break. Huskies up 2-0 here over the Seattle Pacific Falcons here on the KVSC Sports Stream, the NSSC Network. We're going to throw it to a bit of a break. When we come back, we'll be with you for set 3.
Were you there when the Huskies football team beat the UMD Bulldogs in their final seconds of the game? No? Then you missed this.
Now back to the right, to the near side. He's got one. He's got it! He's got it! Touchdown Huskies!
Then you might be interested in being a part of the sports team on KVSC 88.1 FM. KVSC Sports is involved in broadcasting games like football, hockey, and baseball.
Stewart rumbles his way into the end zone. Fell down in the middle. They score!
You can also be involved with some great interviews with coaches.
I'm joined by men's hockey coach Bob Matsko.
I'm here with cross country and track and field coach Eric Hannenberger.
Coach of the year Steve Costanzo.
You'll learn how to read and write sports stories. For more information on becoming a member of the KVSC Sports Team, log on to their website, kvsc.org. KVSC Sports, be a part of the game.
You're listening to the number one source of St. Cloud State University sports, Husky Sports Friday on KVSC.
Both teams at full strength.
Raycamp along the slot, tries to pull one in, arm is up, and David Morley, shot, and a goal! 2 seconds remaining in the first period. Huskies increase their lead to 2-0.
Ford, get ready for fireworks! Boom! Right block, 2-handed slam. Sampson committing the attack error, and that is the first set that St. Cloud State has won against Concordia since September of 2007. Unbelievable!
We have interviews with coaches and players from all around the Husky Sports Network.
Right now, I am joined with the head coach of the St. Cloud State University wrestling team, Steve Costanzo.
Joined by St. Cloud State Huskies head football coach Scott Underwood.
KVSC Sports Director with Johnny Brazicki from the St. Cloud State hockey team.
It's Husky Sports Friday on your sound alternative, 88.1 FM, KVSC, St. Cloud.
Welcome back to the broadcast booth here inside of the Hallenbeck Hall, the house of Husky Volleyball. I am your host, Earnhardt Jaworski, joined alongside Mr. Carl Gunner. Huskies up 2-0 over the Seattle Pacific University Falcons. And in set two, Huskies won out 25-14. And the key factor there was the blocks for the Huskies. They now have 12 total blocks compared to the 4 for the Falcons. And they made an adjustment to have a little bit shorter players to try to read those big swings for the Huskies. And it did not pay off for them.
Yeah, and you look at the stats, St. Cloud nearly doubling Seattle in almost every category. 24 kills to 13 kills.
Zimmerman pops up, back to Baran, over to Holman, kept up. Pruden now goes cross court, there's Rachel. Baran to Foley off the flats, pinball that's alive. Rachel diving save, keeps it up. Holman just has to punch it over. Perry to Tolino. Over to Brockvogel, shut down, there's Cunningham. Tolino. Pruden big swing, Baran pops it. Kirshner sets Foley, light swing, kept up by Tolino. Cunningham, this has to get over. Pruden, kept up by Baran. Great rally, the Huskies are gonna collapse.
Yeah, that's Sam's,
As it was Baran and Rachel on the back line. Both went for the same piece of real estate. And Carl, you and I know well enough, that's not gonna work out in any sport.
No. And you really got to weave around each other, almost like you're playing Twister.
Yes.
That's
you got to have eyes in the back of your head.
Exactly.
You got to be able to know where your teammates are, be aware of where they should be,
and that comes back down
and trust that's where they are.
And that comes back down to communication, either verbal or nonverbal. That's you've been practicing so much already that you got to be able to know where you're going to go. And if you're going somewhere else, you got to tell your teammate. Because you have to be able to shift together, and that comes back to playing as a team.
Yes.
As I was mentioning before, St. Cloud almost doubling in kills.
Oh my goodness, Kenzie Foley as she wrecks this one.
Kenzie Foley once again.
Violent.
Showing out again, yes. The power has come back again.
She has now reached double-digit kills. That's number 10 for her. Tolino, swing by hair. That one's going to be out. Good duck by Lindsay Rachel.
Good eyes there by Lindsay, able to read it. And again, the Kirshner did a similar thing in the early one, in the last set, and that's got to be extremely difficult to be able to see it and notice that it's going out of bounds just by looking at it coming towards you.
She's a veteran of the game. Slow down. Tolino to hair chipped. Kept up by Kirshner. One-fisted. Baran up. Holman's not there. And for Baran, just could not get that one over. Saying that one's on me. Things are all right. 2-2 here. Set 3. And for the Falcons, they got to win this one.
Yeah, you got to get back into the set here. I mean, otherwise you're really into a hole. No, excuse me. Then it's over.
Lambert keeps it up. Holman over to Rachel, who dunks that one down, chips off the net. Not how she drew it up, and that's kill number 3.
And, you know, sometimes you get it off the off the net, that really pays off, and we saw it already on those serves. You can get it just to touch the net and pop over the other side. That'll really catch the other team off guard.
Now we see Hool coming for Holman. And Hool's going to have another service error, the Stillwater native.
Hool really struggling on service errors this year.
You know, it's early in the season. She hasn't found it just yet. Brand back set. Rossi gets shut down.
Hasn't found a rhythm.
Baran. Rossi just dumps it back. Perry's going to get shut down. Foley wins the joust. It's awkward. There's laughter all amongst the Husky pack up there as they huddle together.
I believe that was Barron, actually. 18-8. And Barron, man, she's doing a great job up front. Doesn't go up blocking very much.
And Foley going to get a service ace as she just had a good bend on that ball. Shanks it towards Sarah Brockvold, and she just was not really prepared.
Yeah,
Foley going again, looking for back-to-back aces again. Already has 2 already. Falcons get over. Baran. Rachel steps up, mangles it.
And the power once again coming back for St. Cloud. Still able to read the blockers of Seattle, and anytime you can do that, you're able to get a point.
A lot of momentum on the side of the Huskies, and Foley, she's going to want that one back just out.
Yeah, you mentioned the momentum. That could hurt it right there.
For the Falcons, they're not out of this one yet, only down by 2.
And it's definitely a doable match for you
yes,
if you're Falcons.
You're not out of it.
And as you
Lindsay Rachel just deletes this one out of the sky.
Yeah, you mentioned earlier, this is the match. It's do or die here for Seattle. This is the one you want to take a win in. St. Cloud, you want to beat them twice. You put them right into the ground. Unfortunately, you're going to have to come back.
Kern steps in. There's Lambert. Big swing by Perry. That's going to be fingertips and out. Off of the fingertips of Baran as she could not get the block up front. Kirshner in for Kern.
Huskies haven't really had to go back to those roll hits.
No, they've been able just to really swing for the fences here is Tolino.
Yeah, and you got to think that's a change of the strategy on the other side.
Gonna get us going. That's a well out into hitting the blocks of the basketball court here. Pool for Holman. Baran to serve. Another error, yes. Cunningham shanks it as she double commits with Perry. That's not what you want to see. You can't be giving up free points for the Huskies. I mean, the Huskies, they'll take as many charity points as you give them. Yeah. Baran again, she's attacking Cunningham on her serves. Tolino. Perry, that's a big swing. Couldn't really get level with it. Foley from the 3-meter line, kept up. That's back over. Kirshner. Baran, back set. Holman popped up. Tolino. Swung on by Pruden. Rachel gets that back over. Cunningham sets for Perry. That's shut down by Zimmerman. But point will go towards the Falcons as that one just out.
That duo of Zimmerman and Holman showing off once again that they are on the same page and they can come through for St. Cloud when you need a blocker up front.
More moisture being wiped down as it's not as toasty, or as humid we'll say in Hallenbeck, as it was the past 2 days. Rained a bit last night. It's a lot cooler. It's a lot more comfortable.
And, you mentioned Holman. She hit .545 last year and added over 4 blocks. I mean, you can't ask for much more.
And another service error for the Falcons.
That's got to be 8.
I feel like a broken record at this point. Rachel, that one's going to be in. There's Tolino. There's a Wilkes. That's a good swing. Baran up over to Foley. She's dished one. Tolino couldn't get the handle.
And right now it's those little errors that Seattle is making that's hurting themselves the most.
Well, and at the end of 2 sets, the Falcons had 6 receiving errors. That's a good set. Pruden, that's a 2-touch by Foley as she couldn't get the block. And then she touched it again on the way down.
And that's a little confusing. If you go up and block it, you can touch it once more after that, but you can't hit it twice. And she didn't go up to block that one. She only hit it.
Yeah, well, it went off her fingertips and then tried to keep it up again. Not going to work.
And sometimes
can only touch it once. It's got across the net before you can touch it again. Allison Wilkes now. Had 20 service aces last season. Baran can't pancake it. Kirshner not the strongest dig. 11-8 now Falcons keeping the Huskies honest.
Yeah, Falcons aren't out of this yet, only down by 3. Definitely doable here. Yeah, a lot of moisture on this court. I mean, a pool under it.
I'd almost agree with that. Wilkes, 116 kills last season, has 1 kill coming into this game, swinging 143.
Yeah, she
Bregelman shouting tempo. Have this team pick up the pace. Zimmerman has to punch that one up. Kirshner, Foley, big swing. She shanks it.
Now that again, Foley showing out for you. She seems like the center point of this team, knows where she's going, able to move around to be the focal point of this offense.
Bregelman making some more adjustments on the fly here midway through set 3. Baran pops. There's Foley, big swing, shut down, blocked. Zimmerman puts a hand on it, and she grimaces because she knows if she didn't, that would have been a Husky point, but it goes the other way towards the Falcons there. Now within 1, and now for the Falcons, you could say they're flying at altitude.
Yeah, and that's just a slight lapse of judgment there for Zimmerman.
It's just a knee-jerk reaction.
Exactly.
Get a hand up. That chips off the net. Baran, Foley bounces that one off the net. Kept over. Tolino to Brockvogel. Baran now. Set up for Rachel. That one's going to be long. Wilkes. Swing by Pruden. Kirshner now. Baran to Zimmerman, dumps it over. Wilkes. Brockvogel blocked up front by Zimmerman. Tolino. Another block by Zimmerman.
No,
that's a net touch. No, is that 3?
Oh, it should have been a net touch.
That is a net touch.
No, they gave the point to St. Cloud.
Yep.
But it was a net touch by St. Cloud. I think they just gave him the point there.
Everyone's in agreement that it was Husky point, so they know something we don't know. And so that's something we're going to have to learn before 5:30 tonight. That's a great setup by Tolino. And like I said, 5:30 tonight, so just less than 4 hours time, Huskies take on Ashland University, who fell to Minnesota Duluth earlier today in a 3-0 sweep.
Definitely tough contest day for Ashland. Playing
Rachel to Foley. Oh my God. She got all of it. Her handprint's still on it.
Yeah, I think you can see it from here. You see that? As Rachel showing off the power once again. The Rachel Rocket strikes once more. And the Huskies take the lead 1 point farther.
Getting ever so closer. And it was Sarah Brockvogel. Couldn't get the handle. Hool gets an ace. I think she was a little surprised on that one.
Well, you get the ball coming at you so fast that it can get really hard to control.
When Hool serves it, there's almost no spin on the ball. It's just like a knuckleball getting over.
Exactly.
Lambert to Brockvogel. Baran Foley drops that one down like an anchor.
Foley, that's a nice hit. She's able to get it before she's able to hit it high enough so it goes over the blockers. She's had a little bit of trouble with that today. She's been hitting it into the blockers, but she's able to get over them this time.
Diving save by Cunningham. There's Lambert. Swung on, deflected by Phoebe Rossi.
Phoebe Rossi, what a game, what a match today. She's started off in the first set was fantastic.
Rossi was a little quiet last night, but she has been stellar so far.
Just showing out one of the better defensive players on this team. Definitely the tallest. You'd be able to use that reach that's got to be one of the most valuable things that you can have as a valuable
Rossi
player.
brings so much to the table. I said earlier she's looking like an outside hitter at times. So when you have someone on the front line that can do both,
and
how do you get around it?
Exactly, and you got to speak to the IQ, the ability to find those open spaces, to have those the roll hits, and I mean, there's not enough you can say about how difficult it can be that smart of a player. It takes a lot of training and a lot of learning, and that also speaks to the coaching staff. That the ability to train your players like that can be really difficult.
And for the Huskies, we're seeing Bregelman just make more adjustments. He knows his team can close this out. Just has to give those extra words of encouragement, get those players to trust themselves. As for the Falcons, again, they're right there with the Huskies, just a step or two behind. But in set 3, when you're down by 2, you got to get back within this one here and now. Swing by Hare, that's going to be kept up by Kirshner. Poole just puts that one over. Smith, and
there's that little bump to the side once again.
Kenzie Foley dumps this one over uncontested again.
Once again.
The Falcons' front line just not in sync.
Yeah, once again, Foley able to get it at an angle so it goes right in the empty spot. She's done a pretty good job of that today.
And Houle trying to pick that back corner, can't get it. 17-12 now. It'll be Sarah Brockvogel.
Huskies can't have errors like that.
I mean, you're up by 2 sets. You still don't want to give them up. Rossi, big swing.
Yeah, exactly.
Throttles it.
In a game like this against a very tough Seattle Pacific team, you don't want to let up any errors.
Rossi right now is just 4th gear pinned. Right now, she is flying.
She is definitely rolling, pulling out all the stops for this St. Cloud team.
Swing by Hare and Bregelman pointing, I believe it was Baran, saying, hey, that was your ball. That was yours to get.
Yeah, a little
now
bit
they're just conversing here. I love how Chad Bregelman, he is so active when he coaches. I love the way he fights for his players for every call. But I see it as tough love. When you make a mistake, he'll call you out, but he'll also reassure you, be like, hey, you got this.
And that's often the best coaching. A coach that just sits on the sidelines and watches, sometimes he can forget stuff. And I mean, you want to address it when you know you're there and when the player will remember
fresh.
it. Yeah, you don't want the player to get to the end of the game and not be able to remember what they did because they've been doing so much.
Baran backs at Rossi, pinball, punched over by Willis. Houle. Over to Rossi, kept up there. Cunningham. Swing by Brockvogel. Cross set, Lindsay Rachel, full extension, eviscerates it.
The blockers there for Seattle spread out too much. You have got to be.
Well, they're spread out because Baran, you don't know which way she's going to set it.
Exactly. You have got to get your you've got to get your formation figured out against Lindsay Rachel.
Kern gets it going. That's in.
Wow.
Whoa.
Now that
Falcons passed on serve receive, and Kern's going to say thank you very much.
And that's a nice serve.
As we're going to see Maddie McTaggart punch in here. Rachel gonna take a rest here.
That's
Matt Taggart got a couple of reps in. Didn't get a kill in last night's contest.
Struggled a little bit.
I think she went 0 for 1, so she's going to want to get that around.
Negative
Baran, good dunk over. That's the at least 5th time we've seen the Husky front line be able just to cross it over.
Tap it in.
That has to be from film. They've realized that right up against the net is just a really weak point for the Falcons.
They go
and
for
the Huskies have exploited it. And the thing is, they don't dunk it straight down. They dunk it across.
Exactly. They go for the little putback.
Yes. Kern. Lambert now. Perry dumps it over. Baran. Over to Mac Taggart. Punches it over. Cunningham. Swing by Perry. That's fingertips and out.
And McTaggart does a nice job of getting the soft touch over the blockers. Just doesn't pay off for her.
McTaggart out of Omaha, Nebraska, just a little bit eager as I can hear Bregelman through our headsets, just proving how loud he is, just telling her to wait.
Yeah, I mean, what do you expect? You got to be excited getting some playing time as a freshman.
Cool. Keeps it in. Baran over to Mac Taggart. She's going to get it. I can't get the grab.
That one.
And that'll be point for the Huskies. McTaggart's first collegiate kill. Hats off to her. It has to feel good just to get that first one out of the way. Prove yourself you can do it. Baran serve. That was going to be out, but Perry keeps it in. Prudy keeps it over. Fully. Baran. Back set. Full swing. And Mac Taggart wins the joust up front.
And that's a great job to keep it.
Despite the height advantage, Mac Taggart, she's stands at 5'9", and for Sydney Perry, she's 6'3", and Mac Taggart still wins that joust. Oh my goodness, Baran almost gets that one to drop through. Perry, big swing, crosses, Baran's there. Kern. Over to Mac Taggart, that's a good swing onto Cunningham. She keeps it up. Tolino. Perry crosses it, Foley can't get there.
And McTaggart really showing she's got the power as well, able to fit in and fill a role here with the Huskies really well.
Well, for McTaggart, there's a reason why she's on this Husky team. We said it last night. Over 100 career kills at her high school at Millard West.
Yeah, she earned the AVCA All-Region, All-Conference, and All-State honors at Millard West. Whereas a senior, she led them to the second-place finish at the Nebraska Class A state tournament.
And I believe our good buddy Alex Fern might be able to know this. I believe Class A, I believe that is the big schools. Or here in Minnesota, depending on the sport, it'll be like 2A for hockey or like 5A for volleyball.
I believe you're right.
And now it'll be Paige Dawson. Gets going. That is out. Huskies now up 24-15. This is match point, ladies and gentlemen. Mac Taggart will get the serve. Huskies looking to start the season 3-0, 9-0 in sets here. Punched over Brockvogel. Kern tips it up. Mac Taggart to Foley. That's a long fingertips, maybe. Yes, and that will be the match. Foley goes off the fingertips, all she needs. Huskies dominate here.
And McTaggart really coming through there for St. Cloud, giving Lindsay Rachel a rest, but she played fantastic towards the end of this one, getting the power hits again and again and again. Exactly what you want to see out of a freshman.
And for McTaggart, that's a key assist for the Huskies. Fully good swing. Falcons couldn't get in front of it, and for the Falcons, taste of their own medicine. After sweeping the Huskies last season, they get swept the other way.
Yeah, you can really.
And I was talking to the athletics communications director, Thomas, and he was saying, this could go to 4 sets. He was thinking this was going to be the match to go outside of 3 sets.
5.
I could have thought it would have gone 5, but here for the Falcons, you fly in a circle when you have a broken wing, and that's kind of what the Falcons looked like today.
St. Cloud continues to not lose a set on the season.
Yes. I believe they are now 29 in their last 32 here at Hallenbeck. I think that's going to be now 26-3 since 2019. Home court advantage feels good. As for Seattle Pacific, could have been so much more. As we take a look at our post-game stats, Kenzie Foley, 15 kills total, swung at 290. Maddie McTaggart, after swinging -1, going to bounce back, swinging 500, 2 for 4. Emma Baran, 27 assists.
Rossi ends with 5 blocks here.
Rossi, 5 blocks for Foley, 14 total on the team. Keely Kirshner, 11 digs. She matched her average. And the service ace, 10 service aces for the Huskies. 3 from Foley when she had back-to-back when it chips off the net the same way. 2 from Kirshner and Rachel, and then 1 apiece from Kern, Hool, and Baran.
And here's the big difference in this. You look at the service errors, St. Cloud, 6. Seattle Pacific, 9.
And then you had the 10 reception errors on the side of Seattle Pacific as well. They struggled there as well. And for Seattle Pacific, their kill leader was Maddie Pruden with 6. And then you had Sydney Perry, Hannah Hare, and Sarah Brockvogel all with 4. Chelino had 12 assists. And for Seattle Pacific, a little later on, they're going to have to play Minnesota Duluth in a game where I'm looking they're going to want to get back within this one, but for now, they're going to have to rest.
Yeah, you are definitely going to need your rest here. Going against a Minnesota Duluth team that rolled over Ashland this morning. They are quite the physical and quite the talented team. There's not enough that you can do to get around them most of the times. They're definitely a challenge. And, I mean, they're running the gauntlet already is Seattle Pacific. And going into this one, you got to expect it's going to be a little easier, but you never know.
It's not. This is NSIC competition with Minnesota Duluth. It does not get easier.
Well, that's a key word. You got to hope.
Yes, you got to hope. Hope is a very key word. And with that, Huskies will play later tonight against Ashland University at 5:30 Central Time. We'll be ready around pregame about 5:15, I'll say. And then we're going to have head coach Chad Bregelman hop into the booth here for a little bit of a post-game interview.